Alright.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I don't care. Don't care about Stanley. Alright, I'm a cook. I'm gonna cook. Anything in here? Any evidence? Anything I could... Anything? Any rooms? Any rooms?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
They're fat.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think I turned it off. Oh no, he locked me out.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Shut up. I wanna do my own techniques. Open the door. Oh, I turned off his computer. Well, all of his database is gone. See, if I just spam everything I see, there's gotta be some.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, I didn't. I entered on the right.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I just wanted to open up everything I can see. I don't want to get in everything I can see. Yeah, let me in there. Let me turn it off. You lucky I ain't in there. I ought to turn it off.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Shut up, fool. What if I jumped?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
No.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
No, you are.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look,
You're not
let me
convincing
prove
me.
it. Let me prove that I'm
not
on your
letting you
side. Give
prove
me a chance.
nothing.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I'm colorblind. That's purple.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
This looks red.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
It's purple.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen?
Yeah.
Well, don't let me stop you.
Okay.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what
like
you had
that.
wanted? Was
Yeah.
it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yeah.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I
No.
did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this
Yeah.
is what you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Help me here, Stanley. Help
No.
elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what,
Roblox.
let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Give
There
me
we go.
Fortnite.
A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were with this new
I
version.
wanna jump.
Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices?
No.
Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the
5.
game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one?
That's
not
5.
even helpful.
Shut up,
What am I
bro.
supposed to do with that?
Must have
I
used
guess
it.
it isn't my place to judge.
Yeah.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough,
Kinda
I've compiled
racist.
a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's
You did?
take a look.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
No.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
I don't want to see it.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and
Roblox.
tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of
What if I
family
can't
life.
click?
I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be
Okay.
sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh wait, that's a baby. Bye. I'm kidding. No wait. Oh no, my finger slipped. Oh no, I can't press.
You heartless bastard.
Hey,
Did
you
you do
made
it
me.
because
You
you hate
want.
babies or purely
You wanted me to
spite
play for
me?
4 hours.
Because
I
if it's
don't
the latter,
wanna.
well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try.
I give you a
I'm out.
5-star.
I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Are we playing Fortnite? Yeah, we're playing Fortnite.
Ah, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our
Fortnite.
backstory? What is our motivation?
Fortnite.
But it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man
Fortnite.
spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for
Fortnite.
some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Fortnite.
Yes, that must be it. What a
This is
fascinating
Fortnite.
venture into the experience of total
I've played
mental
these
depravity.
games
So far,
before.
I love everything about this game, Stanley.
We're playing
and it seems there's
Fortnite.
even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what
I'm
else
not
is
gonna
out there.
come. That's weird. Don't wanna. Oh, can't walk. Yeah. Jump. Backflip. 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 Backflip.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
Quick. Sprint.
It is. It's an open world game. Good
Sprint.
God, quickly block it off.
No.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big,
Yeah.
open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
No, I
But
wanna
once more,
go.
Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably
I
something
wanna.
with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Fortnite.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Wait. Man.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
I'm gonna ungo.
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here.
Fortnite
Is this
Battle
game
Pass.
sports ball?
It's
Stanley,
Fortnite.
I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a
This is
touchdown together.
Fortnite.
Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Is that in? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Musty.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Yeah.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
I have balls. I actually have like 15, yeah. Mine are from Fortnite.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Yeah.
Are you having fun? Is this a real video game?
Yeah.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's
What?
over. That's
No,
right.
you
Your
fat
little
ass.
fun comes to an end. This is my game, and
Sure.
what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
There's a hole. Is it for both? Backflip.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
I can't see. Wait, I can't see. I don't even. Where am I going? Am I stuck? Hello? Hello? I think I could, like, just full on jump over there. Help! Help me! Uh. I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor. I'm feeling like a little kid.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
I want to
He'll
listen to
understand
him.
soon what I was trying to tell him.
I want to try and
He
listen to him
needs
now and
me.
see what happens.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is
You
what
are
I
a
mean to this
dumb-
world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be
I have a
back.
cross
There's no
right
other
now.
way.
Like,
Once this
I'm battered.
ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
wait a minute. Okay, let's try and actually listen to him.
All of his
Yeah,
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know
Stanley
the game.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's try and listen to him. Let's see what happens then.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Are we playing Fortnite? This looks like Fortnite. I think we're playing
Descending deeper into the
Fortnite.
building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Balls.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just... As you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself, is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Okay. Bruh.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
No.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
The Sigma?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
They don't.
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind papers. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Fine.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Yeah.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep. Let's go up.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept
No, I
it.
believe
his
it.
own life in someone else's control? Never.
Yeah.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Help.
Had he
I'm
truly
underage.
spent his
Help.
entire life utterly
No,
blind to the
I'm
world?
underage. Please.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another.
I can't see.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Yeah.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Yay.
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but
Shut up.
happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand,
Shut
but
up.
to let go. No longer would anyone
Get
tell him where
out.
to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was
Bro,
perhaps the only
I'm about to
thing
fall asleep,
worth
bro.
knowing.
Hurry up.
Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Did I win? Hey, I got a trophy. Beat the game. I just need 10, 9, fuck, 9 more.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Psych.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Just come. Go.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Oh, in here. What? Whatever. No, sorry. Fine. I'm.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Let's go.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Backflip.
No! Oh, thank God. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Because white.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Ever so slightly. Backflip.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
So if I jump now, it restarts. But if I go through the door, I continue. Do I wanna flip or do I wanna go? You still there? I'm debating if you want me to jump or not. Well, back.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was
Shut
only
the
a
fuck.
matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time. Oh, new content? What does that
Yay.
mean?
New content. We got new content. Well, we're gonna know I'm underage. Please help. Oh, where am I? Help.
Hello, and thank you for playing the
No.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a
Don't care.
reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
I don't care. How the you
The
monkey?
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content
I don't
that
care.
broadens and expands the world of the Stanley
You know my
Parable,
name, I'm
delighting
Juan Mendes.
audiences the world over.
Help.
Please
Bella's favorite game.
step inside
Go to
and
next
see what
you'll
thrilling new adventures await in the
No,
Stanley
grab
Parable
it. Help.
Ultra
Help.
Deluxe.
Oh,
Help.
well, this
Oh.
sounds delightful.
No.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe
What a
content.
big back,
Okay,
big
so far it's
back.
an elevator.
Bella
Nothing
is a
special
big
yet,
back,
but I'm
big
sure
back.
it's just the beginning of a
Her
mesmerizing
back
adventure.
is loaded up with different snack special foods. Big back,
Is it
big
broken?
back.
What's going on here? Should we
Bella's
Should we
hungry
be
and she
moving
wants a
somewhere?
snack. Big
Oh,
back,
there we go.
big
All
back.
right, finally, at long
Bella's
last,
hungry
it's
and she
on to
wants
the
a
new
snack.
content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Big back, big back. Bella's hungry and wants a snack.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle. Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend? Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Finally got home.